What if the greatest love story in Gotham wasn't a tragedy? For over 80 years, we've watched the push and pull between Batman and Catwoman. It's a romance defined by its impossibility, a dance between shadows and light, law and crime, that almost always ends in heartbreak. The moment in Batman number 50, when Selina Kyle left Bruce Wayne at the altar, tragically convinced that a happy Batman couldn't be the hero Gotham needed. It felt like the final word, cementing them as star-crossed lovers. But what if that wasn't the end of their story? What if there's a world where they didn't let tragedy win? A world where they actually got married, had a family, and grew old together. This isn't just a what if. The mainstream timeline saw their relationship get more intense and way more tragic. In a story that sits outside the main continuity, the Batman-Catwoman series, we finally see them get the ending they always deserved. They found a 24-hour chapel in Gotham and bought the matrimony package. Yes, you heard that right. The minister was dressed as the 1960s TV Batman, and their only witnesses were Clark Kent and Lois Lane, who zipped over to see it. Raising a child while you're secretly battling supercriminals? That was their biggest challenge. This alternate future shows a life lived completely. They faced old enemies like the Joker one last time, not as some epic threat, but as a final piece of business from a life they'd almost moved past. Their love story wasn't about saving the universe. It was about stolen moments on gargoyles, quiet mornings at the manor, and the silent understanding that they'd built a life together against impossible odds. They tried to give her a normal life, filled with love and stability. They are a love story that finally got its chance. While the main comics might keep them apart for now, these stories show us their true potential. A partnership built on love, respect, and a shared passion for the city that made them. For starters, it completely demolishes that old, tragic idea that Batman needs his pain to be a hero. Or is there happily ever after the ultimate win for the Dark Knight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Selina didn't fix Bruce's trauma, but she gave him something to fight for beyond just vengeance. She gave him a future to protect. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more forgotten tales from the DC Universe. Thanks for watching. Getting married didn't erase his dark past. It redeemed his future. It proved he could be a symbol of fear to criminals and a loving husband and father. He didn't have to be a lonely martyr. In fact, having a family made him a better, more complete hero. But they also prepared her for their reality. Her playground was the Batcave's training gym. Loving Bruce gave her a new purpose. She didn't have to erase Catwoman to become a hero. She integrated that part of herself. She became Bruce's equal and the fierce protector of their family. She proved she was more than her criminal record, without ever losing that independent spark that makes her Catwoman. She didn't just marry Bruce Wayne. She became a cornerstone of the Batman legacy, proving that love, not tragedy, could be the most powerful force in Gotham. Helena grew up with the best of both of them, Bruce's discipline and Selina's fierce independence. Selina's the realist who knows when the rules need to bend. After a long, full life of adventure and love, Bruce Wayne passes away from natural causes with Selina right there beside him. It's a peaceful, human ending for a man who lived a superhuman life. He didn't die broken and alone in an alley. He died a husband and a father who knew a lifetime of happiness, the very happiness he, and so many others, thought was impossible for him. Together, they're Gotham's ultimate power couple. It was weird, it was private, and it was perfectly them. In that little chapel, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle finally said, "I do," and their secret marriage began. The series jumps across time, showing us their early days, their chaotic present, and a future where they finally figured it out. By day, they were Bruce and Selina Wayne. By night, they were back on the rooftops, partners in every sense of the word. They just got each other. Batman's rigid code was softened by Catwoman's street-smart pragmatism, and her wild side was grounded by his mission. They didn't just fight crime together, they made each other better. Selina didn't weaken Batman, she made him stronger. He was more focused, more driven, because he had someone to come home to. After a whirlwind romance, Bruce proposed. The wedding was planned for Batman number 50, and the hype was real. But it ended in disaster. Selina walked out, manipulated into believing her love would destroy the Dark Knight. This is the forgotten story of their life together, and it changes everything. We all remember the wedding that wasn't. This was the world of the original Golden Age heroes, where things were a little simpler and happy endings weren't just a fantasy. In this reality, the endless rooftop chase between Batman and Catwoman actually had a finish line. After years of their back and forth, Selina Kyle reformed, served her time, and put her criminal past behind her in Bruce Wayne. He finally let himself trust her completely. To really get this, we have to go back in time to a different version of the DC Universe. Earth 2. Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle became husband and wife, and for a while, they were just happy. Bruce was still Batman, but now he had a true partner. Selina, retired from her life as Catwoman, was his rock. This simple act proved something pretty radical. Bruce Wayne didn't need to be miserable to be Batman. He could have love and still protect his city. So, they got married. It wasn't some huge event splashed across the Gotham Gazette. It was quiet, private, and just for them. This wasn't a sidekick. This was their legacy. Helena was raised knowing her parents' secrets. She got her father's brilliant mind and his drive for justice, mixed with her mother's incredible athletic grace and rebellious spark. She was the perfect blend of the Bat and the Cat. Growing up in Wayne Manor, she learned combat from Batman and stealth from Catwoman. When she was old enough, she forged her own identity as the Huntress, becoming Gotham's new protector. For years, the Wayne family, Bruce, Selina, and Helena, was a symbol of hope, proving that even in a city as dark as Gotham, a loving family could thrive. And then, their family grew. They had a daughter, Helena Wayne. Decades later, back in the modern DC universe, that Earth's 2 happiness felt like a distant dream, but a love like theirs doesn't just die. After the public disaster of their first attempt, they decided to do it their way. No press, no villains, no drama. Married life for the Bat and Cat was a balancing act, to say the least. And just like on Earth 2, they had a daughter, Helena. The years went by. They grew old. I watched Helena become a hero in her own right, taking on the mantle of Batwoman. So what does this secret marriage, this hidden history, really tell us? And for Selina Kyle, this was everything. She was never just a cat burglar. She was a survivor. Their marriage represents a perfect balance. Bruce is the idealist who never compromises. This version of their story doesn't end in a climactic battle, but with quiet dignity. This secret history proves the Bat and the Cat aren't a tragedy waiting to happen. So what do you think? Is the tragic, will-they-won't-they romance essential to Batman? And if you enjoyed this dive into one of comics' greatest love stories, you know what to do.